Hello everybody, welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast and welcome to another League One predictions and preview episode of the podcast. This week is match week 37 and you seem to enjoy sort of the concept we did last time. We did a match week predictions and preview, a bit of a different concept to the episode. It's back again this week, some huge games in Sky Bet League One, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell next. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and you can make that journey a little bit shorter by you hitting that subscribe. So I believe just under 80% of the people watching the content aren't subscribed. If that's one of you, please do hit that subscribe button. It's free and easy to do all of those things. Also, hit that like button as well. It really would mean the world. Really important. I'll let you see if it deserves a like as the episode goes on. But if you want to leave a like straight away, that really would be brilliant. So in Portsmouth against Accrington Stanley, the first game we're going to be breaking down, predicting and preview on Saturday. So first of all, let's have a look at this league table. 10th in the league is where Portsmouth currently are and on good form. A win on Tuesday night against Oxford United 3-2. They showed real desire, real grit and determination to get through and get a really good win against Oxford United on Tuesday night. I watched the game and I was really impressed with Portsmouth, really quite impressed. And I also saw as well that how important that point was, how important those 3 points were, and how important getting those points were for Portsmouth. It was a game at full time where they had to work, they had to basically run for everything really and outrun the opposition. And I don't like saying this about Oxford United, of course I don't, but it looked like they just did want it a little bit more than Oxford. I don't think that was because Oxford didn't want it. I just think Portsmouth put everything on the line to make sure they got the 3 points. And I've seen a lot of people saying, and the match reactions on the channel, or on the channel now, and a lot of the comments have said a little bit of revenge after the Kassam game, where obviously there was an early sending off for Portsmouth and they ended up losing the game 3-2. But I was really impressed with Portsmouth on Tuesday. Really good side. And again, we've always got quality. There's always quality in that side. We always knew that. But I think they showed it really well on Tuesday. In terms of Accrington Stanley, 12th in the league. Not many places between the two sides. Only 2 points, 2 places lower Accrington, but a few points lower than Accrington. In total, 5 points of difference between the two sides. Accrington comes to this game with a win. And I also like to look at the bookies as well and sort of the betting odds for this sort of game. So Portsmouth currently at 91 to 100. The expected chance of winning is 52%. But when this team actually wins, has those percentages, they actually win 41% of those games. Accrington are 14 to 5. The expected chance of winning is 26%. But this team actually wins 24% of the matches when they have these odds. So Portsmouth are the favourites in this game. I think it's quite clear, and you can see why. On really good form, come into this game with confidence, higher in the league as well. And something as well, I'd say Portsmouth really looking to push into the playoff places. They really are. They've got games to hand around their sides, around the teams, around them in the league. And they really do look like a side that are pushing and believing in each other and believing in themselves more than anything to try and get in those playoffs. And would it be a surprise? Not really in terms of the size of the football club, but this season they have been slightly inconsistent. But recently they're really bringing really putting a run together. A good win for them against Oxford, of course. A 3-3 draw against Fleetwood, and the character they showed in that game was really quite impressive. And then a win against Shrewsbury, Doncaster and Burton. As for Accrington, a little bit hot and cold. A really good win against Wickham last Saturday, 3-2 as well, even with a man down. They did lose to Doncaster and they lost to Cambridge before that as well, so they are a little bit inconsistent, but a really good win against Wickham on the previous Saturday. This game's going to be really quite fascinating and really quite significant, especially for Portsmouth, I'd say, who still really are looking to get into that top 6. For me though, I am predicting a Portsmouth win. I'm going to go with Portsmouth 3, Accrington Stanley 1. I think Portsmouth are going to win the game. I believe they can if they put any sort of the quality that they showed and the desire that they showed against Oxford United on Tuesday, and they bring it into this game. I think they've got all the right to go on and win this game. So I'm going to go with Portsmouth 3, Accrington Stanley 1 in this one. So next then we've got Plymouth against Morecambe at home park. Let's have a look at the league table first and foremost. Plymouth have dropped out of those playoff places and they start the season really well. They now are out of those playoff places with 2 back-to-back defeats in the league. Only 3 points away from 6th spot, of course, is where Sunderland are currently sat. They were in the playoff places. They look like a really good side. I still think they are a really good side. I don't think that's going to be taken away from them after 2 disappointing results. But unfortunately in this league and how tight it is around those playoff places, if you do lose a couple of games, you do find yourself slip away. So Plymouth need to get back on track. And I think at home to Morecambe, a side that, as you can see here, are in the relegation zone. I do think that they're going to come here with confidence, and they're going to come into this game thinking we do need to get back on track. We need to get back in those top 6 places. There's no doubt there's quality in that side. They've showed that this season. They're playing a 5 at the back with a really good high tempo about them. They did lose their manager, Ryan Lowe. in the middle of the season, and that has sort of, I guess, slightly put them off track, but not really. I mean, they still look like a good side. There has been a slight, I'd say, decrease in quality in that sense, but generally look a really good side. And I have been really impressed with Plymouth. Like I said, they're playing against the Morecambe side, who are 21st in the league, only 2 points separate themselves from outside of the penalty, outside of the relegation zone, who, of course, are AFC Wimbledon, 20th, just outside that. They're not on great form. We'll have a look. We'll come back to the odds in just a second. I want to have a look at these recent games. And for Morecambe, it's been a while since they had a victory. The last game was against Wycombe Wanderers, in which they won. They won that game 3-2 quite a while ago now, back at the end of January sort of time. Since then, they've drawn to Accrington, lost to Sheffield Wednesday, drawn to Bolton, lost to Lincoln, lost to Rotherham, and also drawn to Ipswich as well. They've had they've had a tough run of games, to be fair. Rotherham in there, Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich as well, and they have had a really tough run of games. Probably is one of their high sort of periods of time across the season. So it doesn't get much easier as well at home away from home at home part to Plymouth. It's not going to be easy at all. And like I said, for Plymouth, they come into this game lost to Rotherham, which isn't too much of a problem. Really, you look how good Rotherham have been this season. 2-0 defeat to Cambridge on the Tuesday before that is a little bit disappointing. I mean, Cambridge are a really good side, and away from home, they are a really quite difficult team to get something from, and they weren't able to get anything from that game. But again, that probably will come away from that quite disappointed, but I think Cambridge did deserve to win that one. In terms of the odds, we actually only have got Morecambe's odds. Morecambe are 5-1, so that's an expected chance of 17%, but actually the team only wins 1% of the matches when the odds are 5-1. Really quite interesting. Let's have a look at that. And Plymouth's are 53-100. I don't really know what that comes down to, but I think you can see that Plymouth are the favourites in this game. And you look at the percentage of times that Morecambe have won with those odds, you can also see there that they haven't won a lot of times with those odds. I think Plymouth probably are the favourites in the game. Away from home, Morecambe, I think it's going to be a really difficult test. Plymouth trying to get back into that top six. I'm going to go with Plymouth 2, Morecambe 0. Home advantage is massive in this league, so I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Plymouth Argyle in this League One game. So then next up, what have we got? I'm going to go to it. Charlton at the Valley against Sunderland. I did an episode of the podcast on both of these teams actually individually and talk about the sort of the worrying points of both of these clubs. That are they underachieving this season? I mean, one of them definitely is. And also say I probably would say Sunderland are underachieving as well. But they did get a win. They are back in the top six. A win last week. So they are really quite happy with that. But they're going to the Valley, and at the moment, Charlton, well, they're not in great form. 5 defeats on the trot. 5 consecutive defeats in the league. The worst form team across the division. It's not looking great. It's not looking great for Charlton and Johnny Jackson. I mean, you look at those places. I did an episode on Charlton, and I think across the football club at the moment, there's a lot of problems at Charlton. I think at the moment they're trying to find different ways to try and resolve that short term, and then I think rebuilding the football club from top to bottom in the summer is something that's definitely on the cards for Charlton Athletic. So. I mean, you go to Sunderland, who sort of have had some quite dodgy pieces of form recently, and then Alex Neil's come in, and they didn't massively change then, but they now are getting some points now. Draw and then a win, like I said in their last game. They are getting much better, and there is an improvement in Sunderland. They're not just quite there yet, but I think they certainly are improving in these last 2 games, and they're actually getting some really quite decent results in those as well, and that's the most important thing, getting those results, especially at this point in the season, the business end of this season. They are back in the playoff places, 6th in the league. We look at the odds here. Charlton are 21-10 to win this game. It's a chance of winning is 32% normally. They have a 28% chance of winning when those are the odds for Charlton. For Sunderland, they're 6-5. That's a 45% chance, but normally 41% of the game is the odds chances of winning. When they have those odds. Sunderland. So. Sunderland are the favourites in the game, and you can see why that is. You look at the recent form, look at the league position. That probably is fair. And there really, really is a concern at Charlton. A 3-0 win against Wigan, a big surprise last week, a really quite big surprise, I think, for Sunderland. I mean, in terms of quality, it probably shouldn't be a surprise, but in terms of recent form, it definitely is. So they're going to have a lot of confidence going into this game. And for Charlton, like I said, 5 games on the trot without a win, and actually losing 5 games on the trot, there really, really is a problem there. And it doesn't get much easier hosting Sunderland in League One. But that is the case, and that's what Johnny Jackson and Charlton have got to deal with on Saturday. I don't know if it's going to go the way that Charlton maybe want to go. Like I said, I did mention in the episode, I said that I think it's an opportunity for a real morale booster. They get something from Sunderland. If they beat Sunderland, I think this could be a really, really big boost in confidence for Charlton, and definitely could get them out of they probably are seeing a bit of a relegation battle at the moment. I don't think they will go down, but they're certainly on the cards. So I'm going to go the draw, though, in this game. I think home advantage will come back to it. It's really quite important. I'm going to go with Charlton 1, Sunderland 1 in this game. I think Charlton would certainly take it. Sunderland maybe a little bit disappointed. They couldn't get more from that, but I'm going to go with Charlton 1, Sunderland 1 in this game. So the next up, what have we got? We're going to go to Gillingham as they play against Bolton Wanderers. Let's have a look at the league table. First and foremost, Bolton 11th in the league, a defeat on Saturday against MK Dons. A massive game it was for them. Really, they have been pushing since January. Some new faces in the side, and they are still now trying to get into that top six. And I think they took a little bit of a hit. I think it's a bit of a bump in the road, you could say. 51 points are currently sat on. Something like I said, are on 59. The first team in the playoff places. Only really 8 points separate them from the top six, where a few teams around them, really only Portsmouth and Plymouth, have got a few games in hand on them. So they've got to keep winning. They've got to sort of get back on track after defeat on Saturday against MK Dons, and they've just got to, like I said, get back on the track and not let that hinder them season. They had sort of a disappointing result against Burton a few weeks ago and then backed it up with 2 wins. So they've sort of really got to do the same thing, to be honest. For Gillingham, 22nd in the league, 30 points are currently sat on. 33 points is where they've got to get out of this relegation battle. And we have seen an improvement, really, in Gillingham. Both sides that we spoke about earlier about teams in the relegation zone, Morecambe and Gillingham. I watched Morecambe, they didn't look great. I watched Gillingham and we beat them 7-2 and they looked pretty abysmal. I have seen an improvement, especially in Gillingham in terms of results as well. Really have been quite impressed with them, and the new manager Neil Harris seems to have come in and is improving things. We'll look at these odds as well. The odds for Gillingham, 11-5 of winning this game. 31% normally. They have a 34% percentage when matches have these odds. For Bolton, 6-5, so that's 45%. Actually win half of those games, exactly 50%. So, Bolton are the favourites, and like I said, you can see why. And we look at these decent results as well. I mean, something that stands out straight away is Bolton's fantastic run they went on. Disappointed against Burton and then disappointing against MK Dons. But they can really back it up going to Gillingham. But Gillingham coming to this game, going to Lincoln City on Saturday, away from home. And they got the win. They got the win, and I think that's really impressive for Gillingham. Like I said, Neil Harris has come in, and there is an improvement in the squad. There really is an improvement in the way they're playing, and if they want to try and get themselves out of the bottom four, winning these sort of games is really crucial. And again, this is going to be tough, but at home, there has been improvement. I don't think it's going to be 7-2 like it was when Oxford visited a few weeks ago. There has definitely been improvements in those different areas. So I'm going to go with a draw in this game. I'm sorry, Bolton fans, but I am. I think Gillingham are going to prove a threat, especially at home. I'm going to go with Gillingham 2, Bolton 2. A bit of a thriller in the game. Would Bolton take that? They want to win this game. They're a team in the relegation battle, but I think they're going to be an upset here. A little bit of an upset. I'm going to go 2-2 in the game. Gillingham 2, Bolton 2. That's what I'm going to go with there. Next up, we've got Cheltenham against Doncaster Rovers. Cheltenham 15th in the league. They lost their last game, 2 draws before that, so actually winless in their last 3. But still, you've got to be said, really, they are having a good season back in League One. As for Doncaster, 23rd in the league, 36 games played, 29 points are currently sat on, a draw in their last game, a win before that. So again, similar to Gillingham, really, they are slowly improving and getting some good results in the last 2. And if they've got to continue on that run, they really can put a fight in to try and get out of that bottom 4, out of that relegation zone. Cheltenham lost the game against Crewe last time out, which really was disappointing. A draw against Ipswich before that, and then that thrilling 5-5 before that against Wickham. Doncaster, they drew with AFC Wimbledon, a bit of a relegation 6-pointer, you'd say, and then a win against Accrington Stanley. So that's really quite interesting. What am I going to go with this game? I mean, look at the odds as well. Let's have a look at these odds. 3-4 for Cheltenham to win the game. 41% chance normally. Doncaster, 17%. So they have got Cheltenham as favourites. The home side, higher in the league. So you can see why the bookies have done that. I'm going to go, Cheltenham going to get back on track. I don't know. I can see a draw in this game. Apologies if you're going to this game, but I can feel a 0-0. I can feel a draw, a goalless draw. I'm going to go with Cheltenham 0, Doncaster 0. Not an exciting one, not a brilliant one for the neutrals. I do apologise, but I'm going to go with a draw there. Cheltenham 0, Doncaster 0 in that game. Next up, we've got Fleetwood against Ipswich Town. Let's have a look at the league table first and foremost. Fleetwood, 19th in the league, 33 points they're currently sat on at the moment. And like I said, they're 2 points away from that bottom four. So they do need to start getting some results. So they lost their last game. So they do need to start picking some results and to get themselves out of the relegation battle. It looks like it could be quite a nervous end to the season for Fleetwood if they don't sort themselves out. For Ipswich Town, 9th in the league, 53 points, 2 draws in their last 2 games, but still unbeaten in their last few. And could they get in the top 6? A big game for them on Saturday against Fleetwood away from home. It's not going to be easy, but they really, really do need to get some results and start turning those draws they currently get themselves on and turn them into wins, really, because at the moment, they are 6 points away from the top 6. Sunderland on 59, Ipswich on 53. They need to start getting some really, really important wins on the road. If they start doing that, I think they could be really, really in for a shout, especially now to be turning the real business end of the season. Fleetwood 13-5, and that's a 13% chance Fleetwood this season, so not great with those odds. For Ipswich, 50% chance. They actually win 55% of their games with those odds. Fascinating. Really could go either way. I think that's what they're saying there, especially for Fleetwood winning this sort of game. I'm going to go with an Ipswich win, though. I am going to go with an Ipswich win. I'm going to go with 2-1 to Ipswich away from home. A brilliant win this would be for Ipswich. Definitely get themselves, I wouldn't say back in the shout. They definitely are in the shouts for promotion or definitely in the top 6. But get themselves really in touching distance of that top 6 if they get a win on Saturday. I'm going to go with Fleetwood 1, Ipswich 2. Let's have a look at the next game then. Wigan against AFC Wimbledon. Wigan currently in second in the league. Really, really enjoying a good season, to be honest. A win in their last game, 69 points after 33 games. They really are looking like a really, really good side. They're playing against the side AFC Wimbledon, who are struggling. The last 2 games have been draws, and only 2 points separate themselves from Morecambe, the first team in that relegation zone. A draw against AFC Wimbledon was against Doncaster last time they played it, then draw against Gillingham. So, I mean, those are both relegation 6 points, really, and both of those have ended in draws. A heavy defeat to Bolton before that. As for Wigan, a good win on Tuesday against Fleetwood after both of those teams having men sent off. Before that, though, a bit of a shock defeat to Sunderland at home. Normally quite good at home, Wigan. Losing 3-0 to Sunderland. No doubt there's quality in that Sunderland side, but still, losing 3-0 at home, especially in league position and form, really, at Sunderland came into that game with, you probably would have expected a bit of a different outcome there. But either way, that's League One. Absolutely unpredictable, and that's why we're doing our predictions and preview. And that's why I'm going to do this prediction. It's going to be really, really quite difficult. But I do see Wigan win this sort of game. I definitely do think they're going to be favourites for it. You can see there they definitely are in terms of the bookies and the favourites for this one. I'm going to go with Wigan 3, AFC Wimbledon near. It wouldn't be a good result for AFC Wimbledon to lose the game at all. To lose 3-0, I think Wigan are on a really, really good run at the moment. Even though they lost before that to Sunderland, I still think that might be a little bit of an anomaly. I think they are proving really, really good this season. They're second in the league. They're still hunting down Rotherham. They might be slightly out of sight, but they need to still hunt them down. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Wigan here. I'm confident and comfortable that Wigan are going to win this game. Apology, AFC Wimbledon fans. That wouldn't be a great result for you. Next, then, we go to Rotherham against MK Dons. A bit of a battle here at the top of the table. First in the league, Rotherham. MK Dons third. Both teams are on really, really good form. Actually, in their last 5 games, exact same form. Not in the same order, but both of which with 2 draws and 3 wins. Like I said, first and third, MK Dons enjoying a really, really good season. Maybe an unexpected season. I don't know how people would view it, but I don't think I thought MK Dons would be in that top 6, especially third in the league, and really, really high flying at the moment. As for Rotherham, I mean, they're definitely high flying, having a really, really quite good season at the moment. First in the league, they look like they're going to walk this league. I do feel that. 17-20 for Rotherham winning this game, which is a 54% chance. Actually, 38% of those, 38% chance of winning matches with those odds. Interestingly, MK Dons are 3-1, which is actually a 20% chance of winning, but they win 50% of the matches with these odds. So actually, in terms of the specific teams and their odds with those, MK Dons are slight favourites, but in terms of odds, it does see MK Dons not favourites because it's 54% to 25%. But teams with those odds, actually, Rotherham don't edge it and MK Dons take it. But I'm sorry, I just think Rotherham are a little bit too good. I think that's just the way it is, and I think it's going to be a really difficult game for MK Dons. I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides, but I'm going to go with the Rotherham win here. I'm going to go with Rotherham 1, MK Dons 0. Narrow, it's tight, but I think Rotherham are going to do it. Great form. They're enjoying a really good season, both of which are on good form. I'll go with Rotherham 1, MK Dons 0. But a great season for MK Dons this season. Absolutely no doubt about that at all. So next up we're going to Lincoln City against Sheffield Wednesday. Lincoln City 18th in the league, 3 defeats on the bounce. As for Sheffield Wednesday, 3 wins on the bounce. So both of which were teams with form completely at the polar opposite points when it comes to results. And Sheffield Wednesday enjoying now time in that top 6. They've been hovering around the top 6 for quite a while. They're finally in those playoff places, and it must feel good for them because they've been hovering around 7th, 8th, and dropping down to 9th. But they're finally now pushing in 5th in the league. And let's have a look at these odds. Lincoln City are 21 to 10, so that's 32%, actually 33% for Lincoln City. For Sheffield Wednesday, 5 to 4, which is normally a 44% chance, but specifically for Sheffield Wednesday, it's 42%. So it is still Sheffield Wednesday edging the game when it comes to odds. And home advantage is key. It is key. But Lincoln City are not in good form. Michael Appleton's side now 3 defeats on the bounce. It's not looking great. And Darren Moore's side at Sheffield Wednesday, well, like I said, they're now getting those top 6 places, and that's going to be massive for them in terms of confidence, and I think subconsciously that's going to play a really, really good positive effect for these Sheffield Wednesday players. So I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to win the game. Form's massive. I know home advantage matters, but form's really important. I'm going to go with Lincoln City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Another 1-0, this time for the away side. A narrow win. I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday winning this game, like I said, only just by 1 goal to 0. Next up, we've got Crewe against Wycombe Wanderers, and Crewe still sat bottom of the League Once. They've been in there quite a while, unfortunately, Crewe. 25 points currently sat on, but like I said, 24th in League One. Wycombe not enjoying a very good run of games. However, they won in their last game, finally back on track. A 3-0 win against Cambridge United. A huge win for them. Like I said, not in good form going into that game against Cambridge United, and you did fear, but they got back on track. 3-0, confidence, morale, definitely going to be increasing after that one, because like I said before that, draws, defeats here and there, shock draws, 5-5s, conceding way too many goals, really quite all over shot for Wycombe. They're back on track now. The win against Cambridge United, now 7th in the league, just outside those playoff places. As for Crewe, a really good win against Cheltenham away from home. A little bit unexpected, really. Cheltenham losing the game at home to Crewe. They have been having a good season, like I've already said. But Crewe, a really good win there. Is it going to a little bit too little, too late? Look at that league table again. I think it might be. 6 points. It doesn't sound like much. It's actually more than that, isn't it? It's actually 8 points, isn't it? 8 points to get themselves out of the relegation battle, which is a lot. It doesn't just sound like a lot. It really is quite a lot. We'll look at the odds as well. So have a look at this. Only got Crewe odds here, unfortunately. 10 to 3 Crewe. 23% chance normally. Only 20%. So I can imagine, look at that there. It is Wycombe odds-on favourites to win this game. I do see that. A win against Cambridge on Tuesday, I think, is massive. Really, really good for the confidence. If that didn't go the way it would have wanted, maybe a draw or defeat for Wycombe, this could be a really quite close game. But I don't think it's going to be that. I think Wycombe are going to win this game really quite comfortably. I'm going to go with Crewe 0, Wycombe 3. Another 3-0. Back-to-back 3-0 wins for Wycombe Wanderers. Thank me later. A really, really important win it would be for Wycombe to climb back into those top 6 places. Next up, we've got Cambridge United against Shrewsbury Town. Cambridge currently sat 13th in the league. 2 defeats on the bounce, but no doubt enjoying a really, really good season back in League One. A bit of a surprise campaign really for Cambridge United. Been so impressed with them. As for Shrewsbury, 17th in the league. A draw and a win in their last 2. Before that, a little bit iffy form, but seems to be back on track now with 2 really good results back to back. And like I said, now 38 points are currently sat on. 7 points from the first team in the relegation zone. I don't think relegation is going to be on the cards. I think for Shrewsbury, that's the main thing. Staying in the league, consolidating in League One for another season, really, really important. It will come to the odds first, interestingly. 5 to 4 for Cambridge United. Actually, the thing that just sort of takes my attention straight away. Both of these teams are actually outdoing the percentage when they have these odds. So definitely size overachieving in these sort of games and definitely maybe outdoing the bookies, which is really quite fascinating. 5 to 4 for Cambridge United, 44%. They actually win 58% of their games with those odds. For Shrewsbury Town, 21 to 10, normally 32%, but Shrewsbury 41%. So both teams outgoing their bookie expectation in each game. Really, really interesting, that one. So, what is going to happen in this one? Go back to that league table, and that's also good. I think Cambridge United are the favourites. Yeah, Cambridge United are the favourites when it comes to the book. As you can see why, at home to a side like Shrewsbury Town, who, weren't on great form, but now are slowly getting back on track. And like I said, staying in the league is important for Shrewsbury, and I think they are going to do that fairly comfortably. So, I'm going to go with Cambridge United and Shrewsbury drawing in this game. Both sides coming into this game I think fairly happy with their season so far. I'm going to go with Cambridge United 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. A draw in this game. I think both teams would take that. I don't think any team is really pushing for anything other than sort of mid-table at this point in the season. It might be a little bit late for those sides to push into any sort of exciting battles at the top end. But I'm going to go with a draw here. Cambridge 1, Shrewsbury 1. A fair result, a fair draw in this game. Finally, then we've got Oxford United against Burton Albion. Oxford 4th in the league. A disappointing result on Tuesday to Portsmouth. Don't think we really wanted as much at Portsmouth for points in the game. A destructive moment just before half-time. I think threw the game completely on its head. As for Burton, 14th in the league. Haven't won a game in the last 4. 3 defeats and a draw. So not brilliant for Burton when it comes to form, but 14th in the league. Like I said, a team like Burton, I don't think they'll mind me saying it, not a massive fan base Burton, but they are enjoying a good season, still in League One, and definitely knocking on the door and causing upsets for some sides, really around the top 6, really. Banana skin side, I'd say Burton are, and have been this season. For Oxford, 7 to 10, the expected chance of winning 59%. This actually wins 90%. So Oxford United really outdoing their odds there. Burton 15 to 4, expected chance of winning is 21%. But this team actually wins 11% of the matches with these odds. So Burton, they are slightly undergoing their expectation when it comes to odds compared, to the bookies. And Oxford United are clearly the favourites in this one. You can sort of see why I think we're going to be refreshed going into this game on Saturday, and I think they've got to forget a few moments in the game on Tuesday, learn from them, but sort of put them past them and brush yourselves down. It feels like one of those results. A little bit frustrating, but brush yourselves down, straight back into it on Saturday. Forget about the result on the Tuesday and get back to winning ways against Burton on Saturday. That'll be the plan, and that'll be the message, I think, from Carl Robinson. For Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank at Burton, it's going to be get back on track, really. Like I said, the recent form hasn't been brilliant, but getting back on track is going to be really important. But I think Oxford United are going to win the game. I think at home this season has been really, really good. We score goals. We do concede a few too many, but I do think we score enough goals. I think we're going to score enough goals to win this game. I'm going to go with Oxford United 2, Burton Albion in. A nice comfortable 2-0 result for Oxford. A nice comfortable win. I can feel it. I'm going to go Oxford 2, Burton Albion 0. So I'm going to make sure before I finish the games and before I turn the camera off and switch off the microphone, I have done every single game here. I don't want to miss any games. I don't want to have to go back on the edit and have to redo one while I'm here. Let's make sure we've done it. I think we have. And that's everything in League One this weekend. Like I said, some huge games in Sky Bet League One. We say it every single week, but there's going to be some fascinating results. I can already feel it in these games that you can check out on Sunday, where I go and do the roundup of all of these games. And if you want to be part of that, make sure you subscribe. That way you'll be notified when I go and do that. Hit the notification bell as well. That'd be much, much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Leave a like if you think it warrants one. I think it does. Not biased at all. Hit that like button, that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe, take care. I'll see you all very, very soon. See you in a bit.